Do we have an idea of the extent of loss to cultural heritage in northern Mali today?
The information that we receive is that 11 of the 16 mausoleums have been totally destroyed by the Islamist groups.
That's the 11 of the 16 mausoleums in Timbuktu?
The 11 of the 16 mausoleums of the World Heritage Site. What we also know is that the old town itself, it's in a very degraded state of conservation, simply because it has been completely abandoned. We also know that the 3 mosques that are part of the World Heritage Site have not been maintained. There's always an annual maintenance of these buildings, so we are afraid that the situation could be worse. The same thing is also in Gao, where we have the tomb of Askia. This mosque needed also an annual maintenance, and this has not been done. One of the pillars that is supporting the mosque collapsed, and we're not even sure that this has been completely rebuilt.
What is UNESCO? What can Mali do in order to save that heritage and in order to possibly restore or reconstruct what has been lost?
I think it's UNESCO's responsibility to support the government of Mali in rehabilitating this heritage and reconstructing what will need to be reconstructed, in particular the mausoleums. But this will need a thorough assessment of the situation as soon as possible.
What about the fabled libraries of the desert, the libraries in Timbuktu and the manuscript collections? Do we know how seriously damaged they were?
At least thousands of manuscripts. Many manuscripts have been destroyed, unfortunately, by the Islamists. And these manuscripts were in the Ahmed Baba Center.
Do we have an idea of how many manuscripts were lost?
Well, it's going to be difficult at this stage to know the exact amount of manuscripts that have been destroyed. But what is important is that we may have lost thousands or 2,000, even 3,000 manuscripts, but we may have lost the unique manuscripts, which tells us a lot about this, the importance of the role that Timbuktu played in the 16th and 15th century.
But it would appear that the manuscripts that were kept in the traditional fashion by families that have been safeguarding those manuscripts for so many centuries actually may have survived better than the ones that benefited from more modern conservation techniques and that were concentrated in public libraries. Is that correct?
What is sure is that many of these manuscripts have probably been hidden somewhere or taken away from Timbuktu by families because it's their treasures. So we will also need to do a thorough assessment of the extent of the damage. But we hope that these manuscripts have been kept somewhere and that we'll be able to continue digitalizing them.